Italy Airport, Rome.
The Tiber is the river of Rome. The Tiber River entering Rome from north to south and divides Rome into two main sections, east and west. The structures in wood of the ancient Roman basilica. So this part of the basilica was completely rebuilt, and the facade was all decorated with mosaics by the Vatican School artists. Those are gorgeous mosaics, 19th century, St. Paul's Basilica. Catholic means there are all the religious but the Catholic. In that cemetery are buried lots of artists, poets, writers, including two English poets, Keats and Shelley, both buried there. In front, one at the side of the wall, we are in the center of Rome, and Rome is a large center. Foundations, let's say, supporting of the residence of the emperors. The Palatine was a residential district in ancient time. All the emperors, wealthy, rich Romans, used to live at the top of the hill Palatine. Gorgeous works of art has been removed from the Palatine Hill and now inside the museums. So Palatine Hill in front, bottom the Circus Maximus, the largest of the Roman circuses, used for chariots racings. There was an accommodation for 250,000 spectators, bottom. Nothing in front. At the end of the street, at the end, right in front, the Dome of St. Peter, St. Peter's Basilica, the dome by Michelangelo, while right inside, the white building is a monument to the first king of Italy, Victor Emmanuel. We go there. You will see that monument in a few minutes. So Circus Maximus, used for chariots racings, where Christians were killed, because Christians were killed inside the circuses, not inside the Colosseum, for instance. There are so many wrong informations in wrong movies and wrong books about ancient Rome. Now you will see ruins of ancient Roman markets, markets for fruits and vegetables, markets for animals, the so-called forums. In Latin, forum olitorium means vegetables, forum boarium means animals, so markets. And you can see church 1st century BC, so the theater was built 1 century before the Colosseum, has been restored, and there are flats, apartments. The facade, 3 orders, Doric, Ionic. Top floor was Corinthian style, but was modified in apartments by the family Orsini on the 15th century. There are flats, apartments, people living there since 5 centuries. 3 columns standing there, 13th century, and you will see in a few seconds, passing by, a beautiful square at the top of the steps. Is the beautiful square by Michelangelo. It's called Capitol Square, Capitol Hill, Capitol Square. Michelangelo architect, 3 buildings, museums inside. At the top of the steps, ancient Roman statues. From the top of that square is a fantastic panoramic view of the so-called Roman Forum. Right inside, ruins of an ancient Roman building. 1st century BC, Victor Emmanuel. You can see the monument to the king up there, bronze statue, bottom, tomb to the unknown soldier. You will see 2 soldiers standing by, change of the guard every 2 hours. They don't supposed to move for 2 hours, day and night. So this building, built 1905, in order to commemorate the unification of Italy and the first king, Victor Emmanuel. Ancient Rome, right inside. At the end of the street, on the right hand side, is the Colosseum. We will go to the Colosseum later. Left, the building left and south of the square is the first Renaissance style building built in Rome. Was built 1457, historical hills. So we drive to reach the top of it. So those of you who want to know something about the fountain, if you come around, I tell you a few things and then features time. Up there is the coat of arms, the family coat of arms to the Pope that commissioned to build the fountain. And the name of the Pope, Clement XII. Aquam Virginem is the name of the ancient Roman aqueducts that still supply water for the district. which is called Trevi District. Trevi means three streets, the three streets that lead to the square where is the fountain. Bottom in Roman numbers, the year the fountain was built, 1735, Roman letters. Now the building, both sides, existed before the fountain was built. The building, the 16th century building, was residence of a family from the north of Italy, and now there is a kind of museum inside. The fountain has been restored 2 years ago. For over a year was all encapsulated in scaffolding, pollution and so on. They cleaned it and now it's beautiful again. They started all symbolic, the four seasons. They started the center symbolized Neptune, the pagan god of the sea. You know, according to legend, to tradition, they told you those things. I think they gave you a coin too, If you throw a coin in the fountain and you wish to come back to Rome, the wish supposed to come true. And usually it works, You got lots of it. That little balcony, the one. So, monument to the first king of Italy, tomb to the unknown soldier. So this building was built in 1905 by the Italian architect Sacconi. It's only around 2nd century AD. Trajan column. All around, high reliefs, episodes of the life of the Emperor Trajan. Beautiful ancient Roman column. Now, this street leads to the Colosseum. It's called Imperial Forum Street, built in Mussolini time. Mussolini commissioned full excavations here. All those ruins were brought to light before the last war. Between 1920 and 1932, in those 12 years, all the ruins were brought to light. Before 1920, only the highest of the ruins were visible. All the rest was underground. There, with the remains of the Temple of Venus, the three columns standing in Corinthian style, is what's left of the Temple of Venus inside the Forum of Julius Caesar, 1st century before Christ. The Arch of Septimius Severus, right? A church built on top the ruins of an ancient Roman prison, Mamertine prison, and here behind the trees is the Senate. Senate, the building right inside. Senate is the most important building in ancient time. Attention, Julius Caesar was not killed in the Forum in front of the Senate. It's completely wrong. Lots of wrong informations in wrong movies and wrong books about ancient Rome. Caesar was killed, assassinated the Ides of March 44 BC in front of a theater, Pompeius Theater, miles far away from here. Ruins of a church built on top of the ruins of ancient Roman temple, the Palatine Hill, ruins of the Temple of Vesta, the Temple of Castor and Pollux, basilicas, arches, theaters, amphitheaters, circuses, baths, Roman Forum, Forum in center, political, juridical, econ Augustus. That time, Rome was the capital of all the world. And for map on the right, Trajan time, at the time even Great Britain was included. So all, let's say Europe, including Great Britain, all the north of Africa and the so-called Asia Minor. At the time Rome was the capital of all the world, and Constantine, 4th Corinthian. 84 entrances, all numbered with Roman letters. We can still read the Roman numbers at the top of the 84 entrances all around. 3 of the 7 hills are around the Colosseum. Right inside, the Arch of Constantine, the first Christian emperor, 4th century, ancient Roman arch. So now we drive around the Colosseum. We'll stop the bus at the other side, as close as possible, and then we walk to the Colosseum. Again, I need your cooperation, because no parking, so we must go back to the bus in time where the bus will come and pick us up. We should be there waiting for the bus. So we drove around the Colosseum. Across the street in front, ruins of a gymnasium. There were 4 gymnasiums around the Colosseum. So ruins of one of the 4 gymnasiums on the left-hand side. Gymnasium is school for gladiators, training for gladiators. In front, the Chervim Hill, right Palatine, and Esquilino. 3 of the 7 hills are around the Colosseum. This part of the Colosseum is completely missing. Origin was all 4 levels high. This part is missing. You can see again the Arch of Constantine, 4th century, and now the Arch of Titus, 1st century. And then ruins of ancient Roman temple, 2nd century AD, Hadrian's time, with the bell tower of a church built on the 13th century over the ruins of the ancient Roman temples.
Eine Busfüllung.
This is a view from the room of the Excelsior. You even got a palm tree. My God. Reminds me of home. Yeah, the place is a mess already. Oh, it's work. Some great Italian TV.
Pescatori. Eccoli. No, Harry, ma che fai? Vuoi suicidarti per caso? Sta fermo! Sta attento, sta attento. È tutto finito, calma, dai. Vedremo qual è il maggior punteggio, vedremo quindi cosa avrai vinto, va bene?
Sì, va bene.
Ciao Margareta, che...
Che conquista il primo 15 del secondo gioco.
Oh,
So,
Come va?
lei come sta, Noari?
Non
Lei
c'è
come
molto
sta?
la vita. Abbastanza bene.
hasta la vista,
Bene.
baby.
Un cognac.
Cognac?
Sì, con piacere.
Cognac.
Enrico, un bicchiere per...
Cartoons.
È impossibile. Non puoi andartene, non abbandonarmi. Coraggio di stronzavo.
There's the Vatican.
Oh, it's really a lot of work. I gotta work.
are in this gallery right here. It's about 1,200 feet in length, all three galleries together, separated in three different sections. No fooling around. Not here. Not in the Vatican. When that is the right humidity for the right liquidity of the paint, then you add that paint and it stays. Very difficult. Fresco is much more difficult than oil paint. Fresco, if you don't get it quite right, if you don't get the technical part of it quite right, it spreads all over, or it just doesn't take. So all of these are done directly onto the stucco of the wall, just like the Sistine Chapel. The Sistine also was fresco. But this is only about a year. So it's not. Oh, the Sistine Okay, so if you look, here we are. Baby boys playing with a duck. A duck. A duck. This is a duck. A goose.
Goose, that's what it is.
I didn't want to say it. Anyway, and this is an original piece of the 3rd century before Christ. Not always were they in bronze. Would you come a little closer, please? Here's another guy who was on the 3rd century before Christ. You know, the 3rd century before Christ is a particular moment in the Mediterranean world. It was when Alexander the Great had died. His great empire was spent silver threads, silk threads, and wool threads. Now they had the paintings right there. The little girls would be behind these tapestries, and they would weave on behind here by looking. I don't know. It's been a novel. By the time, here we are, folks. Here we are, folks. Here we are. Here we are. Now close the line up. Come close to Lila. Ready up here? You have to want to come stand next to me. I can't drag you here. So anyway, this gallery right here is the gallery of the maps. The maps here were done in the 1500s as well. They were painted directly onto the wall. And here you have some relief up in the lobe. Now these maps were done by the best cartographers of the time, and those cartographers came from Venice. They came from Venice, they were under the school of Dante, and they depicted practically all of Italy. All of Italy. And also areas surrounding. Remember, they were kings and emperors. They fought. They had soldiers. They had feudal landships, and therefore they needed to know the whereabouts of enemies and friends. And here in front of us we have the city of Avignon, France, which was the residence of the Pope during the 14th century. Look at all the details. They're almost perfect today. Here we are in southern Italy, and as we travel up the gallery. And so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Follow my flower. Lila's photographer is over here. Now, through these windows, what have we been looking at? We have been looking at the gardens of the Vatican, the Pope's backyard. From here, you can see the Vatican radio station. You see the tall antenna. All of the fountains in the gardens were done in the 1500s. And what are these people doing? Well, they stopped here because the Vatican has left us a shelf open, and there were $60,000.
J'aime bien. Même un.
Best place is out in the center, I gotta say, huh?
Yes, when you go, the best way to get out.
I want to get in the center so we can...
Yes, the best way to
The clappers weren't even moving. It must be electronic. This is the Atlantic Club. Sits on the lights. White figure, huh? Is he pretty good when you zoom in?
Yeah.
Fratelli e sorelle carissimi, ho avuto questa mattina la gioia di ordinare 41 sacerdoti chiamati dal Signore ad essere fedeli pastori del suo popolo, pronti a rendere il loro servizio dovunque Egli vorrà. Il loro è un servizio di verità, perché ad essi è chiesto innanzitutto di farsi annunciatori del Vangelo. È un servizio di santificazione per aiutare i fratelli, specie attraverso i sacramenti, ad aprirsi alla grazia di Dio. È un servizio di carità, in quanto dovranno adoperarsi a far crescere nell'amore la comunità cristiana e l'intera società, chinandosi in modo speciale verso i più umili e più deboli. Grande mistero, il grande dono di Dio è il sacerdozio. Voglio pertanto ringraziare Dio per questo dono. Ringrazio anche i noi presbiteri per la generosità con cui hanno risposto alla divina chiamata. Ringrazio i loro genitori e le loro famiglie che li hanno incoraggiati e seguiti nel cammino. Ringrazio i loro educatori che li hanno aiutati a sviluppare i vari aspetti. Mi congratulo con la Chiesa di Roma, mi congratulo in modo speciale con questa giovane di incontrarmi specialmente nella Domenica delle Palme. Inoltre desidero invitare tutta la comunità cristiana Regina Celi Età, la Vergine Santa, Maria, alleluia, figlia surresse, Domino, sorelle, alleluia, oremus, Deus, qui per resurrectionem, Spiritui Domini nostri Gesù Christi, mundune divicare dignatus est, resta quesumus, ut per eius Beatrice Virgine Maria, perpetua e capiamus gaudia vitae, per unum Christum Dominum nostrum. Amen. Sic nomen Domini benedictum, ex anno et spes, adiutorium nostrum in nomine Domini, in feci caelum et terra. Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater et Filius et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen. Mentre con gioia ho appena conferito l'ordinazione presbiterale ad un buon numero di diaconi, non posso non pensare agli operai del Vangelo sconfitti. Il mio coraggio pensiero va alle numerose vittime di quel tragico conflitto e da quanti ne pagano ancora oggi le tristi e pesanti. Pozdrawiam również serdecznie wszystkich pielgrzymów z Polski. W szczególny sposób łączę się z biskupami polskimi, którzy w tych dniach, w tych miesiącach święcą nowych kapłanów. Niech nie zabraknie nigdy powołań do kapłaństwa, jak i do życia zakonnego w naszej ojczyźnie. A krótkim roku
I make you a special present. Now I finish. You gotta play the game.